I remember when y'all played at OKC and we know you was on the team when my boy, I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of the best years of his career. He was top 3 for MVP voting. He was top 3 in Defense Player of the Year. I'm just going to admit my boy PG, he was balling.
Yeah,
so,
was. Yes,
and I got to say, he was hitting game winners and all types of shit.
He was.
Because he was just doing his thing.
He was.
Now, I just got to ask you, because you was there and you seen him.
Yeah.
How impressive was that special season with my boy PG when y'all had that, man?
Oh, man, you heard what he said when he first came on, man. We was locked in, man. We was tied in. You know what I'm saying? Like I was kind of the one of the older guys on the team. So, you know, I was the vet, the OG in a sense, not necessarily to him, but just to the squad and just somebody got to hold everybody accountable. And I felt like I was that guy. So, you know, when PG and Russ was, you know, not being themselves, I was the one that was like, hey, man, come on, man. Like, let's get this together. Y'all get this together. Y'all better than me. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, those guys really just, like, they took that from me, you know, and I appreciate that, Pete. The fact that y'all gave me that respect to let me get at y'all like that and really hold y'all accountable, you know, and that's what's missing in the game today. But, man, listen, that man was frying people, man. I tell people all the time. And, you know, once again, you got these clowns out here who feel like they got so much to say about people playing the game of basketball, and they never did what we actually did. But, you know, for them to have the words that they say sometimes about P or about Russ, I played with both of them. And I know the body of work. I know the hard work they put in. Every day after practice, we putting up extra shots, playing one-on-one against each other. Just people don't see that. People think that it's just all sweet. And it's not. Like these dudes really work. These dudes are major superstars in this league, in the world. Like can't go nowhere without security, and people don't understand it, but these guys really put in that type of work. And there's a lot of guys out there who have that fame, but they really don't love the game. They really don't like the work. And I can honestly say, seeing it, PG do. You know what I'm saying? Like he loved the game. He put in that work, and I've seen it up close.
And I was going to ask this, but you mentioned him a little bit in this with Russ because you actually played with both of them. I was just going to ask you a little bit what stood out the most about playing with Russ.
That man played the same way in practice the way he do in games.
I tell people that all the time.
PBJs only? He used to tell us that because Russell Westbrook, he's built. He looks like a linebacker, but he was telling us he eats like PBJ and Red Bull.
Hey man, listen. I walk in the locker room.
Did he have Red Bull? I don't know Red Bull, but I know he PBJs.
He played like he was drinking some Red Bull.
Listen, man, you walk in the locker room. So I walk in the locker room. You know, I mean, obviously I played against Russ. I knew Russ and all this and that. But I walk in the locker room and like no homo, dude. The dude had his shirt off, and I was like, what the? This dude's an action figure, man. Yeah, man, this dude an action figure, man. Dude, muscular, big, and just cut up. Oh, wait, man, what is going on? And we get in practice, first day of training camp, and this man going 100 miles per hour at me, full speed. I said, oh, you know what? I said, I'm at year 12. I'm at year 12 at that point. I'm like, man, I gotta get my shit together. This man ain't coming up me. But man,
I tell people that all the time, bro. What y'all see in games, that's him at practice too. Like, it don't stop. There's no switch that turns off with Russ. Like, he is pressure all day long.
Well, hey, man, I love everything you said about Russ because I think the same thing about him. And I know P got all the stories about him as well.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, shout out to our boy Russ, you know, making it as far as he did. Yeah, man.
Ray, I want to touch on just something you mentioned earlier about how there's, you know, certain people that like to talk and specifically with Russ and P. And I'm just, you know, I'm a little biased because P's one of my best friends. I've had the opportunity to be around Russ just a little bit, and he's been nothing but kind to me. And I tell that to people all the time, like, oh, he's a normal dude. He's super kind, but kind of a tough question. But why do you think guys like Russ and P specifically, why do you think that there is that outside social media? Like, I think they can, you know, they're pretty tough on both of them. Why is that? Why P and Russ specifically in your mind?
Because people just need something to talk about. You know, they They need a tabloid. They need something to make them popular for the time being. So, they want to find something negative. And when you've been so great your whole career, people are always looking for a way or a reason to try to bring you down. And these two guys, they've been great since the time they stepped on the court. And anybody at the end of their, not saying the end of their career, but anybody as they get older in the league, there are things that are going to change with your game. There are things that's going to start leaving. And if you don't play the game, you ain't gonna know that. You ain't gonna understand that. So you can expect PG of Indiana to be the same PG right now. He still can do a lot of great stuff. Hell yeah, he can still win games. Still, I hope he get him a championship before he retires. And so can Russ. We saw what Russ did this year. How if you take him off that team in Denver don't go as far as they did it. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's going to talk about that. They're going to talk about him in LA with the Lakers. They're like, come on, man. And it's just
bringing up old shit.
Yeah, I don't get it all. I don't like it. I don't like guys who play the game, who get out there and they start talking about guys who's playing at the time. I'm just not with it. So that's one of the things where I pride myself on my show, on my podcast, that I don't talk junk about nobody unless it's Rashad McCase. But we'll leave that alone.
We'll get to that. But just to rewind a little bit with OKC, we've watching them in the playoffs right now, and they're having a great run. And you having some time around that organization, what is it that makes that organization so great? It just feels like ever since really drafting KD up until now, they're always, in the mix. They're young. It seems like they get better every year. Just talk a little bit about that organization as a whole.
Management, man. You got to give big shout outs to Sam Presti over there. Just the things that he's done over the years, the type of players that he's brought to a small market in Oklahoma. Like, you got to tip your hat off to this guy, man. Like, he's one of the best in the game, and he cares about his players. He cares about the community. And the fans is nothing but amazing there. Like, I know P will tell you that. Like, I played in a lot of places, and this is probably one of the best places I've ever played as far as fan base, and just they really love Oklahoma City Thunder, man. They love their team. So, but shout out to Sam Presti though, man. He done an amazing job at getting talent there and building teams and just making things happen. And this team that they put together, a lot of people didn't see what he was doing, but now they see now, just with the young guys, with all the picks and just different things that he did, and it worked out. It worked for him, man. It's like a mess somehow, if you think about it.
Yeah, Ray hit it right on the head with that one. I mean, shout out Sam, shout out what they're doing over there. I think they just do an amazing job with developing their players, right? Ray talked about the community aspect. He talked about them caring about the team, like really caring about the individuals on that team and making sure everybody's good. I'm I can guarantee, they make sure Shay's comfortable, Jalen's comfortable, all the way down to whoever's the last man on the roster, man. They just make sure that this is home, this is a family, whatever y'all need, we're here for you. And it translates. You get on the court and it's like, shit, like everything else is taken care of. All I got to do is hoop. Mind you, you're in a city where the fans is all about you. They back you up 100%. And it's almost like, that's, you enjoy, like Ray talked about earlier, like we would stay after practice. Bro, we'd be practicing at 12, 1 o'clock. We might not get in our cars leaving the gym till like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Like, we just enjoy being in the gym with each other. So I think there is that aspect too, where once you're there, it's just like, all right, I'm locking in. These are my brothers. And it's just it's a winning environment in Oklahoma for sure.